So this is Arachne kit review, pre-release kit review. So I'm going to go over what I think about her kit after reading through it and thinking about the comps from my perspective as players who've done a lot of content. So where would I grade her? Well, I would grade her B to S tier, depending on how her kit actually works and flows. This is a potential S tier ultra support. I just need to know in reality how well the fucking execute grows. So I think her kit's very good. It might need some minor number tweaking. However, if it doesn't work the way it says, it's gonna be pretty bad. Now, first off, it's Divine Ultra. Destined Dread, this is Divine Ultra. The reason why this is so long is just with G Murphy, which is Divine Blue. Now, just like Divine Blue, Divine Purple, it's very controversial because it's dog shit. In theory, it's nerfs, but again, she buffs it, just like how G Murphy buffs it. This breaks everyone last year when they did all these changes on JP. Remember, JP Ultra, JP Blue, JP Carol Realms are different mechanics. They're nerfed and weaker. And Divine Blue and now Divine Ultra is copied almost 1-to-1 from JP. And if you remember Light from Discord, you can dig it up. He says that the gameplay changes were not going to come to global. Guess what? This is JP Ultra. Don't believe me? I'm going to pull up my video where I was talking about JP Ultra. I made the video months ago, half a year ago. So, you can't, I have receipts. So, let me pull it up and while I discuss more about the kit. Now, her execute, for example, it's tied to an Arc 2 talent. And I believe it might be an error because I don't believe they would be that stupid, but maybe they are. I don't know why they keep tying like the Morian. The Morian bonuses were also tied to Arc 2 only. And I know that a lot of players are on Arc 1. I don't know why they just don't add it to both arcs. I don't know what they're fucking doing. So let me pull up my video. I just pulled it up. It's 7 months ago. So you can, debate all you want, but I have receipts. So this is 7 months ago. I made a JP versus NA version video showcasing like Divine Blue, Divine Ultra Realm, and talking about it. Talking about how nerf the kit is and whatnot. And people in the comments were like, oh, they pay a lot. I have a bad feeling. Blah, blah, blah. I hope they don't do that to global. I hope they don't do this. Speedrun EOS. And people, again, this is historic. I didn't change anything. These are not fake news. 7 months ago, and you can check on Discord, people complained like all these fucking changes to JP. They were like, oh, it's not, it was like, don't worry, separate version. It's not gonna come to global. It's not going to come to global. It's a separate version. And with G Murphy, Divine Blue came over. And now with Arachne, this is Divine Ultra. So this is the JP Ultra. Now, what's the core thing about JP Ultra? So these Dimensional Shuttle, Singularity Beacon, these are not in JP Ultra. Why I say this is JP Ultra is because of Annihilation cooldown. In JP, to nerf the realms, get you to pull limited more. Again, you can say this is speculation, but everyone knows. To get you to pull more, they nerfed the base realm mechanics, blah, blah, and added turn cooldowns. So there's a cooldown on blue stancing, red stancing. There's a cooldown on using furnace, and there's a cooldown on annihilating. So these buffs up ahead is to compensate for this huge nerf from putting her on your team. I think it makes up for it, just like G Murphy makes up for it. So the huge nerf, like completely huge nerf, I think it's bigger than the blue nerf. This needs to be like God tier. This needs to fuck you in the ass in a good way. This, You would have to, like, fuck everyone in the ass so hard to have pleasures and ecstasy beyond the pale if you're a Warhammer fan. You have to join Slaanesh. This is a purple nail, you're joining Slaanesh. It has to be that good to nerf Ultra Realm this hard. Like, Ultra Realm mechanic is quite good. You know why? Because you can annihilate every turn. You can have it just one from Ultra turn. Every battle, annihilate. To not fucking go into Ultra turn and save it as an oh shit turn. No one uses Ultra turn the way the devs intended if you actually know how to play the game. Everyone uses Ultra turn as an oh shit turn, or as a turn to build up resources, or to prepare for the boss turn. No one uses it as a burst. No one uses it as a burst at all. That's the way the devs intended. Everyone uses it as an oh shit extra turn. You cannot use it as an oh shit extra turn anymore with Singularity Annihilation, the JP mechanic. What it does is that you can only annihilate once every 3 turns. So you have to go into Ultra turn. What does this mean? So, if you're doing a mob battle and you're going to win anyway, you go into Ultra turn, you wasted your Ultra turn. You were going to win anyway. It forces going to Ultra turn. And you can't save it for the next mob battle. If the next mob battle you die instantly, or you could have had that Ultra turn to save your life, build shields, you can't do it anymore. You can't choose when to go in Ultra turn. Right now, you can choose when to go in Ultra turn. You can just annihilate and play. With this unit on your team, you cannot choose when to go in Ultra turn. It's up to you and God. It's up to you and God. Hopefully, your Ultra turn triggers when the boss isn't invuln. When the boss isn't doing anything. However, in exchange, you get the card. Right now, you get Annihilate. Right now, when you Annihilate, you get an Insight. 1 draw, 1 mana card. The JP version, which is exactly the same, I covered it 7 months ago. You draw the leftmost card from Ultra Space. Also, this is dog shit translation. I'm just gonna say it. They should hire like a real gameplay tester. A real gameplay tester to make these translations, because you can just shorten this. This is just a wall of text for no reason. Why? Okay, I'm gonna complain right now. I'm gonna rant a little bit. On my full review, I'm not gonna rant that hard. So, this Ultra Space. Why did they even bother calling it Ultra Space? Instead of initiating an Ultra round, discard all non-retained cards, trigger the fleet effects, draw all Ultra Space cards, and set a rift to 5. This current round is treated as an Ultra round. Why not just call it an Ultra round? Why not just call it an Ultra round? It's literally... Sorry. Again, throat problems. When I rant too hard, this is what happens. Ever since surgery, can't explain it. Whatever. So when full, just call this an Ultra round. It's treated like an Ultra round. It activates the Ultra round instead of initiating the Ultra round, motherfucker. You keep the retained cards. What does this sound like, guys? It sounds like an Ultra round. Just call it an Ultra round. It's like, yep, Ultra round. Oh, that's why add this. What are you doing with this translation? Why? Okay. This, for example. This is the buff to compensate for nerfing, the freedom of Ultra turn. It's a buff to Ultra turn itself, but it nerfs the freedom. So every card in Ultra turn gets stacks of Singularity Beacon, 25 stacks, which, again, buffs the effects of fixed counter, fixed poison by 2% per stack. So it's 50% buff to the card. So it's a 50% buff to all cards in Ultra turn. This is good. And, however, it's only a 25% buff to shields, healing, and strength down effects. To the Ultra turn cards and the cards itself when you play the first card. Grant the original and base card would be 25 stacks of Singularity Beacon. So this is the trade-off. For not getting the freedom of Ultra turn, your Ultra turn is going to be 50% stronger in terms of damage compared to normal. So I think this makes up for it, because 50% is quite big. However, that freedom is huge. That freedom loss is huge. That means in boss fights, Ultra is going to be very good with Arachne. Boss fights is going to be very good. Mob fights, it's going to be garbage. Because I'm going to tell you right now, half the time in mob fights, this Ultra turn is going to trigger when you already won or when you don't need it. That's just what's going to happen. You can't control it. You cannot control this Ultra turn anymore. So that is pretty bad. So this is just an effect, just like G-Doll. It's a support effect. Team gets 50% damage amplification and 15 singularity prism. Blah, blah, blah. And this is just the realm mastery scaling. Now this bottom effect, this is not new. I don't know why they even bother putting it. Everyone knows that if it's pure Ultra or pure Chaos, you get the full effect. However, it is buffed. It is now doubled. This is the same thing as G Murphy. Same thing, 1-to-1. Same thing as JP. It's pretty bad. I think I don't like this at all, because it's not bad as in its gameplay bad. All you fucking retards think I'm saying it's bad because it's gameplay bad. It's bad for team building. That means that you're incentivized to play Ultra Chaos when you're running Arachne over other mixes, even more so than other previous Ultra mix. Because remember, other regular Ultra turn mix, you get a 25% nerf to Ultra in Ultra turn if you mix. However, if you mix with Arachne, you can think of it as a 50% nerf than a 25% nerf, because you don't get the double damage amp. You don't get the fucking Ultra Mastery effect doubled. So instead of doubled, you don't get it. So you can think of it that way. In that perspective, it is a nerf if you choose to run it not pure Ultra, not Chaos Ultra. I think that is too big. I think if you're gonna incentivize that like other things, I think it should be less. Like this number should be lower, or it should be 25%, just like regular Ultra. However, counterpoint, 50% buff right here from the Ultra turn cards. However, as I stated before, Ultra turn was already nerfed for this. That was the payoff from not having Ultra turn whenever you want it. So this is just, it nerfs the Ultra turn and nerfs the team building aspect of it. Now let's go on to why she might be S tier. Her Soul Forge, Final Verdict. This instantly killed the target. If the stacks of the state greater than target HP, depending on how it's implemented, how it's easy to build Final Verdict stacks on her kit in reality, this might be broken. It's already broken. This is going to be one of the effects that someone, probably me, just like G Murphy again, is going to find out some fucking cheese on a boss. Just like how I found the fucking G Murphy cheese. So, fucking this is going to be broken for some bosses cheesing. Because I was the one, again, you look up, you can say I was bragging, but it's true. Look at my caster video. I was the one who found out that caster bug because I fucking spent 6 hours and I test all the shit. This, I can see a potential to break like a couple of bosses. I'm not going to say right now what bosses I think it will break. I'm going to do it and make a video for it if it does break it and show you guys. Because I don't want them to like stealth patch it, like, or try to fix it before it releases for the meme, even though it's just a day out. I think this is funny because this can potentially break a lot of bosses if they coded it wrong. And those of you guys who played Release G Murphy, Release Caster, or a lot of the release units knows how hilariously bad they designed the game to not think of stuff that me as a player thought of within like a couple minutes of reading the kit. Like, I don't understand who's on their balance team, especially with the AA plus 12 buffs. Like, it's not even just me. Anyone who plays the game and they're not retarded, they can find like, if you see the plus 12 buff, guys. You guys know the plus 12 buffs? You guys spawn in comments. Most of you guys know what's wrong with the plus 12 buffs. The strong gets stronger, the weak stays weak. Look at Tulu's buff. Look at Tulu's buff versus G Murphy. I don't know who's on their balance team. I don't understand. And this is the exact reaction I have when I was reading this. Even then, why is this on her Soul Forge? Why? Why is this bottom effect not in her base kit? Why is it only in Arc 2? Why don't you give us this in Arc 1? The first 9 chapters, where a lot of players who are new are starting the game. Why does it not detect MP dive? Why restrict it to Arc 2? This seems like a core component of her kit, guys. Don't you think so? Don't you think this insta-kill effect for Final Verdict is a core component of her kit? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe her core mechanic that her entire kit is built around is not important. Why restrict it to only Arc 2? This is insane. Why put it as a Soul Forge? I don't understand the design philosophy there. Now let's go over her stats. Her stats, con defense, above average, but low for limited. Low for recent limiteds. However, her attack value is below average. So this is like average borderline stats. You wouldn't want to level her up that much compared to other units. Realm Mastery DR. She's not a key flare bot. You need a key flare bot. There's no key flare here. People need a key flare bot. It's pretty bad. This Exalt, good. This is one of the better Exalts in the game. The better support damage Exalts. This is probably one of the... Oh, yeah. This is pretty bad. I'm fucking moving the thing. Again, I'm fucking recording this back and forth. So this, for example. This Exalt right here on the corner. So gain 280 shield. 100% damage amp. Remove stagnation from all cards in hand. Now the stagnation effect we can ignore because it's so niche. Because very few bosses give stagnation. And even if you just ignore it most of the time. So this shield value is very high for a level 6 skimmer. These are level 60 stats. This is roughly equivalent to a caster exalt. Let me double check that, unlike other people. So caster exalt. This is actually higher than caster. Yeah, this is actually more shield than caster exalt. But caster has the plumes. This is like double the caster exalt shield almost. This is like more than double the caster exalt shield. So this shield value is very high at level 60. And it gives you a nice damage amp. This is a very, very good exalt. However, the con, again, they're putting cons. Her base Alimus is 150. It's hard to charge her up. And, again, there's a way to fix it. They put the way to fix it with guiding strings. I'll go over that later. Her strike and defenses are extra dog shit. They have no effects that are taken effect by Enlightenments. It only gives 10 Alimus. It would be fine if her base Alimus cap is 100, but it's 150. So you are mainly charging her up using guiding strings. Her strike and defenses, worthless. No leap effect at all. Nothing about her thing is leap effect. She's a support for other units, just like Horla, so that's good. That's good. That's a good thing about her kit. So, Singularity Warp. It basically synergizes when another unit plays a card. She's like a Karen, like a Horla. She sits in the sidelines watching other units play the card, which is good. This is what we want out of our supports. They sit in the sidelines watching. That's good. We don't need ultra DPS fucking one-shot supports like G Murphy, who's labeled as a support, who out DPSs every DPS in the game, who out shields every shielder in the game, who generates the most riff out of any unit in the game. So that's good. She has her niche as a support who sits in the sidelines. So this is her final verdict value, 2,500. Again, I need to test it to see how this scales into the end game. Because, again, at first glance, it might seem low, but with everything combined, it might generate a decent amount of final verdict to execute. So, this is her rouse. Annihilation is changed to select one command card from Ultra Space and take it out, triggering once more when played next. So, what this does is it makes Ultra Turn better to make, not the Ultra Turn, Annihilate. Because this, remember, this is the nerf. You get rid of, you don't get the insight, you pull a card, the leftmost card, and you play it. That's the Annihilate to stall Ultra Turn. This, you can choose any card in your Ultra Space and play it out, and it's double triggered. This is very good. However, it would put her at A to S tier automatically, if not for one key problem. They nerf Ultra Turn Annihilation. You can only do this once every 3 turns. You can only do this once every 3 turns. So that's the downside of it. So this rouse is only going to take place once every 3 turns. So it's a strong and a weak rouse at once, mainly to play against high priority burst units. I'll test the comps. I'll show you the comps later. I'm not going to go over what units you can use her with. You can theory craft in the comments below, but I'm just going to go over the kit and review and my thoughts. So Eternal Loom. This is deal final verdict to all enemies, then place 1 guiding string in hand. This is a good skill card, because this is 624 final verdict, AoE to all enemies. It's not damage. Remember, this is not damage. This is applying final verdict. So this is the interesting part about her kit. And why I think this fucking Soul Forge is garbage. Without this applying final verdict stack, it's only going to matter for a few things. If you have enough to execute it, it doesn't trigger. If this is only an Arc 2, why did they do this? Final verdict, executing? I don't know. We're talking about Arc 1. I don't know why they do that. So, Fate Binding Web, 3 costs. Very expensive for what it does. However, her Enlightenment fixes it. But I'm going to go over her E0. Her E0, fucking dog shit trash. Fucking dog shit trash. She's one of those more, this is one of the more heavily invested units in the game. I think people are going to be reacting that this is a bad sign of things to come. I'm indifferent as of now. I need to test before I give my final opinion. But I can see the community dooming and glooming. Because on paper, it does not look good. It does not look good for this unit compared to previous units. Compared to Vortex, it does not look good. So this is gain everyone 10 Alimus. Yeah, this is a good shield value. For a level 6 unit, 98, this is very good shield value for what is. So the next Eternal Loom gains an additional Guiding Strings. So what is Guiding Strings? Guiding Strings, you lose 2% of your HP and gain 1 stack of Weaver. And Weaver is a state. So this battle, the HP loss from this skill in Final Verdict dealt by Arachne plus 10%. So this is the effect. Now, it is probably going to be 2.2%, 2.4%, 2.6%, 2. Whatever percent. However, it can be read. I don't trust the translations. I don't trust the fucking AI translations they use or whatever the fuck they use. It could be whatever. This could have synergy with Ultra Caro. However, you play Ultra Caro, it is quite nerfed because of this pure Ultra effect. I don't like it. Like, I was thinking, like, you can play her with Doracine, especially with the Doracine buff. It would work quite well, if not for the thing. I might try it. That's one of the comps I'm trying, because he can heal up. You can use her with probably Gellet. Gellet is probably a good option, too. But this is where she gets her fucking, what's it called? Alimus. Her fleeting effect. Arachne randomly gains 15 to 30 Alimus on the fleeting. So when you just get rid of it, basically not play it, but disappears. This is a, well, it's not a new effect, but I think having the effect tied to fleeting is new. So this is new. Unless, they are translating it wrong, but I assume it's a new effect. So this is a random alienness gain. This is the first random alienness gain. Oh, wait, there's random DPS. Well, actually, no. Riker's technically random alienness gain. She's basically like Riker on gambling. Now, those of you who know, you either love it or hate it. I love it. I love gambling. Okay? I love gambling on alienness to see if you get the max value or not. I like this. This is funny. You guys might not like this. I find this funny. This random alienness gain. Will I get 15 or 30? I don't know. Let's figure it out. The max 3 stacks persist across battle. It can consume by Exalt to unleash Pursuit Infinite Threads. Again, I would not have structured or kit this way because you have to read this. You have to scroll up and read Pursuit Infinite Thread. Gain 5 Singularity Prism. Deal X Final Verdict. Oh, okay. Consume. And then you have to go find Singularity Prism. Where is it? You have to go back and go over here. Singularity Beacon. Singularity Prism. Right now. You have to go here and read here. I think they could have structured this better. Because you have to read here. Then you go up here. Then you go over here. To comprehend the kit. I could probably structure this better, even though my spreadsheet's a mess, and a fucking toddler can probably structure this better. But again, it's just nitpicking here. So let's go over her enlightens. E1. Good. Very good. Arachne, Exalt, 25% damage amplification. However, skippable. Her E2 and E3 are basically mandatory to play her. Her E2 gains 50% more Final Verdict on Eternal Loom. And gives her 3-cost card Prepare and Retain. This solves her issue of her 3-cost card. You would not want to play this 3-cost card naked. If you play it naked, you would not want to play this every turn. Otherwise, it's a waste. Without her E2, this card is a dead card most of the time. You need her E2 minimum. And her E3, Weaver stack cap increased from 3 to 5, and Singularity Prism gain from Infinite Threads is doubled. This is practically essential. This is doubled. This is too big to ignore. Is it needed? Probably not. You can probably run her E2 just fine. But the effect is too strong to ignore because, again, almost doubled Weaver stack cap. And Singularity Prism gained right up here. So instead of 5 Singularity Prism, it's 10. So right here is Singularity Beacon. So it's 10 stacks. So it's 20% damage. Again, buff, etc. So again, all that, this is good. Her E3 is very good. However, this is the concerning part that many people will talk about in the days to come, even when she's out. Her Overexalt and her plus 12 effect. This is the first limited unit that releases with a plus 12 effect. So we can assume that every unit from now on will have a plus 12 absolute axiom. So they are going to design units. You can say whatever you want. You can disagree. They're going to design units with the plus 12 effect in mind. Right now, everything before, they're not designing units with the plus 12 effect in mind. Might be dooming and glooming. This is not part of their design philosophy. However, personally, I think this is bad because if you're designing a kit, like let's say you're a developer, you're designing a kit, you have that in mind, even if you don't intend it to. You're just going to think of the full kit includes the plus 12. You're going to think, what can we withhold from the players to put in her plus 12 rather than using the plus 12 as a way to buff it. Right now, they're using plus 12 as a way to buff units, incentivize pool wells. With this being the first plus 12 on launch, that means that while they were designing her kit, they thought about the plus 12 while they were designing it. I'm going to give one of the famous Flares analogies that I'm going to come up off the top of my head right now. It's like you're going to war. You're going to war. You're fighting in a war, okay? Let's say you're fighting, let's say, for example, since I'm controversial, I think this is funny. Let's say you're fighting in World War II. You're fighting in World War II, okay? The stakes get higher and higher. You have a game plan. You have battlefield strats. Those are your E1s to E3s. That's your overexalt. That's your overexalt. Okay, well, you have lines you cannot cross. You have lines you cannot cross, blah, blah. The maximum line you can cross, OE, you plan everything around OE. You plan everything around E1, E2, E3. Those are your battle run, your tactics. We start with E1. Maybe we advance onto E2 and E3. And if we have enough resources, we're winning super hard, we get overexalt. That's your game plan. That you have that plan, and the plus 12 buff in this analogy, the plus 12 buff in this analogy is you're on your last legs. We have to break some war crimes. We have to break some war crimes to like win the war. We have to start using mustard gas. We have to start using mustard gas right now to save us. So you start developing mustard gas. You need to start developing nukes. However, this is during the war. You did not think to develop mustard gas before. It wasn't part of your game plan at all. The mustard gas, the nuclear bombs, came after you were getting your shit beaten in a war. Now, the plus 12 being part of the design decision. Imagine the plus 12 being part of the design decision. You're going into the war. You're going to be like, okay, guys, we made this nuke. We made this mustard gas. If we're losing really bad, we're going to unleash it. We're going to unleash it. You already have the horrors of war withheld. And maybe those horrors could have been used at the start of the war. You see what I'm getting at? It's like you... Okay, I can't even use America. Let's say you're a good... I love America. Let's say you're fucking Canada. I'm going to pick on Canada a bit here. The Prime Minister of Canada, or whatnot, says go into war with everything planned. I'm like, okay, we're going to war. We're helping out Ukraine. And by the way, guys... we have these specially built plus 12 gas chambers. We're not going to use it. We're not going to use these gas chambers. But we have them. We have them if things get really bad. As opposed to never having it on the board in the first place. Never thinking about it. Plus 12 doesn't exist. It comes later. Last hope. But now, every soldier going to war. Your game plan. You're the general. The general is like, it's fine. We're at OE. We can withhold the line. We don't need buffs or anything. We have those gas chambers ready. That's basically the analogy I want to put out there. And most of you guys already tuned off. But this is how my brain works to explain things. I'm sorry. I cannot control how my fucking brain works. Okay? So that's what I don't like about them having the plus 12 on release. It feels like they're designing it around the plus 12. Especially since the OE and the plus 12 are both strong. They're not dog shit. The problem is, like, all the other plus 12s that we got are dog shit. However, since this plus 12 is pre-designed, predestined, it's actually good. Does that mean, like, every plus 12 is super good? Does that mean, like, whales will now have a completely different gameplay style than normal players? Yes. Because they're designing units with plus 12 already in mind. On the forefront of their mind. You cannot stop their brain. They are thinking of what to use as the plus 12. Rather than thinking, maybe we should have put that in the base kit instead of walking behind plus 12. That's just my thoughts on this. So yeah, her overexalt generate copies that are 0 costs. Yeah. In hand, 0 costs. I don't even need to talk anymore to... I don't even need to say anymore why this is strong. 0 cost copies with single Lure Beacon in your deck. I don't think I need to explain myself quite further. Her plus 12 effect. Fixed damage equals 50% of final verdict. Damage amp and shield gain from next X-ult 50%. Yeah, it's just a flat 50% buff. This is stronger than most plus 12 effects. Most plus 12 effects right now are less than a 50% buff. Outside of some outliers. This is just a flat 50% buff. Just from having plus 12. On top of the stats and everything already. Now let's go over her wheel. Her wheel is good on her. I can't see another unit it would be particularly good on. There's no current pursuit unit where this is particularly good on. Because all of them are not defensive units. So this is right now niche for her. And that concludes my thoughts on Arachne. Again, comment below what are your thoughts on the plus 12. What is your better analogy? Because I could have done that better. I did. It's off the top of my head here. I'm doing this stream of thought, stream of consciousness. I don't filter myself unlike other people do. There's no filter on players. That is literally what's going through my mind. You guys know my YouTube posts, my shower posts. I think about this stuff. I think about weird scenarios. Like I'm gonna end the video with one very controversial take about real world stuff. So, what if everyone's complaining about all these immigration in every country, immigration enforcement, okay? What if, for ICE and all immigrations, no normal citizen can join them? Instead, it's all legalized immigrants. All legalized immigrants work for ICE. They might be nicer, they might be meaner. Imagine instead of having, it might work better. Only allow immigrants to work for ICE. And I think it would work out. I think everyone would be happy. Anyway, flares out.